Well, good morning, Leanne. Indeed, we've had so many challenges here this morning, and I think it just speaks to what the people of Hammanskraal actually have to put up with on a daily basis. This area, the northernmost Gauteng, and you drive here, it's the impassable road infrastructure. It is the sewer spill everywhere in people's yards, on the roads. It's just, you come in here, you drive in here, and immediately you get a sense of perhaps this is why people are falling ill, because these situations, the conditions here are really unacceptable. But I am joined, as you said, Leanne, by the MMC for Utilities and Regional Operations here in the city of Tshwane, Mr. Themba Fosi. Mr. Fosi, thanks so much for sparing the time. And I must just ask you, first and foremost, coming in here, what are your thoughts?
No, the roads are bad, and I can tell you that my experience from the northern side of the highway up until here, it took us way more than it actually took me from Pretoria driving to Hammanskraal.
So, as a leader in the city of Tshwane, if that is your experience, what do you say to the people who live here and have to basically make do with these conditions on a daily basis?
Look, Sakina, I'm going to take this further with our teams. I'm going to take this further with the mayor. We've been here for about just under 60 days. I think this should be a priority. People deserve service. We kind of our people living in squalor.
And I'm glad you've seen what we've seen at your portfolio. However, in terms of an administration that has been leading this particular city, how do you respond from that perspective? Because when you say, it almost sounds as if you're seeing this for the first time. Are you saying to me that in your handover report, this was not highlighted, the condition of this place?
Look, this issue of no maintenance of our roads, no maintenance of our sewer, this is a legacy stuff. You're right to say that there are handover reports. The issue is that we're very stringent. We're running thin on maintenance. Our capex budget is very, very, very slow. However, there's other low-hanging fruits where we could be able to assist and have private companies to come and assist us, or we can have organizations that can be able to come and assist us and mitigate the issue of finance and be able to a great extent afford our people service.
So let's talk about some of the issues that have been raised. The Mayoral treatment facility, as an example. 12 years that the city has been trying to resolve this 16 matter. Yes. 16, but 12, we were told money has been spent, so much money. Phase what are we on now?
We're still on phase one, which we are 60%. And there is allocation that we're going to finish off this phase one soon. And also we had a meeting with the Minister of Water and Sanitation to precisely discuss the second phase, which is about 2.5 billion. We need intervention. We need the national department to come through and be able to assist us and perhaps find work. And have other ways. We really can't deal with this as the city. It has come to a point where we need to accept that a lot has happened. We need to move forward and have national government to take it.
You see, it's beyond that at this point, Mr. Fosi, because people are now literally dying. People have died. This is a community in mourning. And by your own account, it's been 12 years of repairs to the Mayoral Treatment Center. Is that acceptable?
No, it's not. Under no
So why should the people of this area have to live with that?
Under no circumstances, this should be accepted. However, we also need to understand the current deaths we are not sure where the source is. Let's allow today to go through. Let's get the results today so we can be able to understand. If we have been taken to task because of negligence from the city, we will take responsibility. For sure, if we are at fault, we need to take responsibility. We need to come through to party and be able to assist them.
So as you understand it right now, and I know the city of Tshwane actually did some analysis of some of the water in the area. So which areas exactly were the water tests done from, and what were the results?
The results were negative from the Themba from the Themba water treatment plant. We've tested also all our reservoirs that are feeding people around here. We've gone to an extent of having also rainwater with certificates to show that their outlets or where we're extracting water is okay, and the same applies with them. So today we should be able to get the consolidated report as to where the source is.
So this is a cholera outbreak. In 2019, the Human Rights Commission actually raised the issue of the quality of water when they had also conducted tests at, for example, the Kekana High School in just a stone's throw from where we are, and other facilities around here. And the South African Human Rights Commission report indicated that the water was not fit for human consumption. That was in 2019. Did the city actually do something about that?
Oh, most definitely. That's why we've got water tankers which are providing potable water for people. The water from the tap is mainly to use as to flush or to water your garden, or to not for consumption. So we had mitigating elements where we provided water tankers on a daily basis to make sure that people have water.
Areas from the 17th of March, and you look at where we are right now, does it concern you that even though we don't have empirical evidence, there could possibly, be allegations of a link between those two things?
Remember, Sakina, water is life. Sanitation is dignity. It is very important that people have to have access for water. It is very important that people need to have sanitation for dignity. I can tell you, the city has been doing its might to make sure that we are providing potable water through water tankers. There are elements of criminality within the very same water tanking business. We've got mafias who are operating this business, which is trying to curb to a great extent, where we have provided water tankers that would deliver water not to the brim, and then also sell whatever that is. And to that effect, we are providing the water from our own fire hydrants, which is why I'm saying that we've got a mafia business in this water tanker.
And the community suffers, because if you are saying there is some mafia operation going on here, how are you dealing with that? Because at the end of the day, the people of this area don't have clean water. You talk about water is dignity. Water is an inalienable right as enshrined in our constitution. We're not doing people favors by giving them water.
I said water is life. I said water is life.
Yes. You have an absolute duty to provide people
100%
with drinkable water. So when that doesn't happen, what do you think is going to happen to the people? Because then they need to get water from wherever they can.
Okay, please don't miss my point. There is water that is supplied to this area 7 days a week. To the informal settlements, 3 days a week. Of that, there's local tankers which replenish the water that is being left to make sure that each and every second day there's capacitation.
That has been disputed by the community, by the way.
Unfortunately, what I have with what the community is experiencing, it is true. There's misalignment of information.
Yes.
There's currently an investigation which is done by the sanitation department together with the human settlements department to get to the bottom of this and sit to it. Why is it that the people that we are paying are not delivering the service, so they can take them off the system?
How long has this been going on for? And for how long do you want to use these tankers? Why is the city not making work? As you said yourself, 12 years of repairs in one instance. How long does the situation have to go on for?
Sakina, in this day and age, in actual fact, nobody's supposed to be using water tankers.
So why are we using them?
Unfortunately, at this point in time, remember the lack of maintenance for the decades, lack of maintenance of the system, lack of changing of the infrastructure on the pipes, because currently there's asbestos pipes which have lived way beyond its lifespan. So those are projects that have not been actioned to a great extent. These are the results that we have.
So who should take responsibility for that? Who should take the blame for people having to live in abject squalor? Who should take the blame for people dying in certain instances because we are not delivering services in a manner in which we should?
in this instance, my interest is solving the problem. As to who I should point fingers, that's not my interest.
It's not about pointing fingers.
My interest now primarily is to make sure that we take out our people from the squalor, we make sure that the systems are proper, we make sure that our people have proper access to water, have proper access to sanitation.
Yeah.
That is what my primary goal is.
But Mr.
However,
Fosi, we're not going to make this about platitudes. We're not going to just talk, abstractly about this, because the reality is that people have died in this area. There are people lying in hospital in critical condition because of what we are told, the water that they have consumed. Sakina, that may have been contaminated.
Let's have these two separated. Currently, we don't know what caused
this issue. That's what I'm saying. Yes, hold on. The allegation is that.
Yeah, allow me not to finish. Let me make my point. My point is, one, we don't know what the source is. So put that aside. Currently, as to how people are receiving water, it is what my problem is. You're right to say people should not be receiving water through water tankers. People should have communal taps, or to a great extent have taps coming through to the yards.
Have you tested the water in those tankers that you are delivering to people?
Yes, we've been testing. We've been testing.
You've tested all of them?
Remember what is happening. All these trucks are collecting from Mahali's water and are collecting water from the Rand water.
Yes.
And to a great extent, water that is coming through the Themba water treatment plant, which tested negative also, we go through via the normal sanitation, which they can use for their toilets, they can use to wash whatever, or they can water their gardens.
So, are you discounting the fact that, and of course we can't say with any sort of surety at this point because there is no empirical evidence to back it up,
100%.
But are you discounting the fact that those tankers, did you actually test what's going on within the tankers themselves?
I think let's allow today we would get to where the
So you haven't done that
if
yet?
It has. The city has, on time and again, we do test our tankers. We do test our extraction points.
But you haven't done it now in this instance
yet. No, but that's why now we need to, remember now we've got a crisis.
Okay.
When we have this crisis, we need to then have all hands on deck and test each and every possible place where we could be able to.
This crisis has been more than a decade in the making.
But I'm talking about the cholera now.
Yes, this crisis has been more than a decade in the making.
Unfortunately, Sakina, let's just understand this. If we're talking about the cholera, we should not then have assumptions that it is because of this water. Let us get the results. Once we get the results, only then can we understand where the source is and make decisions from there.
Okay.
For now, it is just unfair to say it is the water.
I will give you that for now.
Yeah.
We will await the empirical evidence. Let's talk about the monies that you spent on these treatment plants and the corruption that is inherent in these dealings, which is why you are only now still on phase one. By the way, how much has been spent on the repairs on that treatment plant?
Okay, you're right to say that a lot has been done on this, but nothing. You should let me tell you. The problem is, in fact, there's not only corruption. Corruption is everywhere in this country, even in the city of Tshwane, which is why the mayor said, now we've got our gloves, we're going to make sure that people are accountable. There's a forensic report currently sitting at the CM's office for his deliberations. As soon as that, it will be publicized. Those who are implicated in this corruption will have to pay the mighty price of going to jail.
Well, why is it taking so long? Last year, one of your coalition partners, Action SA, they actually came up with a report. And you, apparently, as the Democratic Alliance, did not act on it. So what happened?
The report is not out yet. No, the report is not out yet. We are waiting the report. Once the forensic report is available, it is most definitely going to be available to the media and to the communities to know who stole, who didn't deliver, and what happened. I cannot rely on leaks. Let's wait for the forensic report to come through. Once we get the forensic report, then only can we say this person needs to be prosecuted, this person needs to be taken.
The reason the leaks are happening, the reason why everybody is doing their own investigations, is because it's taking you too long. Because the reality of the fact here, Mr. Fosi, is that how much has been spent, by the way? That was the question that I was asking you. How much have you spent on the repair on that particular plant?
I don't have the figures from the top of my head, but it is quite a lot of money.
Quite a lot of money. We're talking how much? Billions?
Millions.
Millions, not billions yet. Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions.
So Now, let's talk to that. Hundreds of millions have been spent, and yet the plant is still not up and running.
Context.
Yeah.
I said there's 60% of work that has been done. Of that.
Over how many years?
Oh, that's unfortunate. Exactly. That is
no, it's not unfortunate. Let's speak facts, Mr. Fosi. Let's speak facts. How many years and how much has been spent?
No, but understand now. You need to also allow me to respond and put things into context. You cannot just answer willy-nilly like that. I am saying for the 60% of work that has been done in Rooiwal, that amount caters for that also. You're right to say work in the Rooiwal area started a long time ago. It is exactly the reason why we've got a forensic report. We decided to take this to task, and we've got a forensic report that was going to actually tell us who are people who are supposed to be responsible and who are supposed to be taken to task.
So under the DA administration, what was done about this particular matter, given that it has already, and I'm quoting, when I say 12 years, I'm quoting you, Mr. Fosi. You said it has been 12 years of repairs. So in those 12 years, what has the DA administration done when they came to office?
You don't assist us to put words into my mouth. Let me say this myself. The DA took over from 2016. 2016, inroads were made. When we requested the intervention from the National Department, it was refused. 2019, the mayor was out, a new mayor was installed. What happened? Just hardly 2-3 months down the line, we went into administration. Councillor Randall Williams tried all his might to be able to resuscitate this project and move forward. A lot was lost. We lost 2 billion of that administration era. A lot has happened in that. That is amongst other things that we need to find out. If you can check on the very same report that we're talking about, it talks between that era where there was the coalition was not doing so well, and we had changing mayors time and time and again. To this effect, we have a mayor who's capable, who now wants to make sure that we deliver to the people who have been affected by the Rooiwal water.
So are you saying the previous DA mayor was not committed to the task? I'm asking. When you say the mayor who is in place now,
yes,
wants to fix this, he is committed. What are you saying about the previous one?
His priority is to make sure that we remove this squalor, is to make sure that amongst his priority is to sit to it that the legacy issues are being dealt with and making sure that we take our people out of the situation.
You see, and unfortunately, all of this politicking is not helping the people of this area, because when we talk about when this Rooiwal project was actually, when the tender was awarded, under which administration did that happen?
It happened under the DA administration.
So who was awarded that particular contract?
Unfortunately, that would sit with the report. The report will give us a guideline what happened. I think let's wait on that one before I make any commitment on that. The report will be a very, very conclusive report where you will have a direction and be able to make up your mind from the very same report. That is why it is very important that I can't then cast aspersions now, lest I be getting into unnecessary trouble with the law. Let's get the report which is being, which will be legally binding, and we can be able to take people to task on that one.
So, as I say, we're going in circles. It's politicking all over again, because this, as you say, the tender was awarded during the DA's tenure, your administration as the DA, and now we are sitting here, and how many years later, still we are talking about we are going to conduct a forensic investigation, whereas the people don't have the luxury of that time.
Correction. We did not say we are going to conduct. I'm saying we have a report with the CM's office.
How long have you had it?
No, but that's the question we need to pose to the CM.
Okay.
Now. Once we have the report from the CM, only then we'll be able to make a decision from that on.
But the report is there. How long has it been there?
We have not said, that's the information that you need to get from the city manager.
No, but you just told me that the report is there. Yes. I'm simply asking how long has the CM sat with the report?
Yeah, let us not talk past each other. I am saying the report is with the CM. It is only the CM who will be able to release that report soon. When that happens, then you will have those decisions. Those I don't want to cast aspersions.
We are not talking past each other, Mr. Fosi. I'm asking you, how long has the CM had the report?
No, unfortunately, I don't know. We can be able to ask the CM himself. Should be able
how long have you known about the CM having the report?
When I resumed power, when I resumed office over a month ago.
And at that time, did he just receive the report according to your knowledge, or has he already had that report with him by the time that you assumed office?
No, when I assumed office and when the new, remember with the political dynamics in the state of Tshwane, it has been unstable for the better half of this year. It has been very, very, very unstable. We only assumed power to get to the thick of things, to understand what is happening. Let's allow the process. Let's allow the process to finish. Only then can we be able to make decisions so far as judicial decisions.
All right, Mr. Fosi, we're going to leave it there because you're not going to give me those answers. I don't know how long the CM has had that particular report. Mr. Fosi's been in office for at least 35 days, and therefore it's been 35 days or longer, perhaps. And we don't know when it's going to be released. As Mr. Fosi says, that is the prerogative of the CM to share. And unfortunately, in the meantime, this is what we are looking at. This is what people have to live with. These squalid conditions. Imagine having to traverse this every day as you come out of your home. Where do you step? Where do you not step? And the community has to put up with this. The potholes are something terrible. There was one place that we went through, we literally had to get out of the car to throw a stone to see how deep it actually is, to see if we could actually pass through there. And the MMC does concede that the situation here is terrible, it's catastrophic, and unfortunately people are dying. We're still waiting for the forensic reports, empirical evidence as to what exactly it is that has caused the deaths of 16 people at least in this area from cholera. So whilst we await that, the city will be conducting more tests on their tankers. Don't know how long those tankers will still be in operation for. Why do we have these tankers? Because that's another question that needs to be addressed. Why can't water simply be supplied directly to people's homes and taps? Why do we need all of these tankers running around? The MMC mentions mafia at play, at work in this area. So if that is the case, we need to know exactly who, when, how long, how much is that costing the city. And in the meantime, the people of Hammanskraal are waiting. They are trying to make the best living they can under these horrid conditions. We're going to go back to the studio and we'll be back to speak to more of the people around us here in Hammanskraal.